in previous video we have already discussed about simple problem and conditional problem, and today we are going to discuss about the combination of this problem. Means in this definition we have to use both type of methods, simple as well as conditional. So what is the definition? Find different roots for the quadratic equation, that ax square plus bx plus c. And this equation you already know, we have already learned this thing in mathematics, right? So for finding a root we have to first calculate the value of our delta. That if we have this equation like ax square plus bx and c, and first of all we have to find delta, or we can say determinant. So the formula is like d is equal to b square minus 4 into a into c, b square minus 4ac. Here instead of b square I am writing b into b, that is similar to b square. Now the value of delta, we have a three possibility, like if delta greater than 0, then delta equal to 0, and delta less than 0. So according to the value of delta we have a different roots. Like if delta greater or equal to 0, in that case we will get the root, two roots like x1 and x2. And what is the formula for finding a root? So minus b plus root delta upon 2a. Same for x2, but here just sign is changed, minus b minus root delta upon 2a. So this is the possibility for delta greater or equal to 0. But if our delta's value less than 0, in that case we have to just print that our roots are imaginary. So this is the whole process we have to write in our algorithm. So first, what will be the input for this problem? Here we have to find the delta, and for finding delta we require the value of b, a and c. So here a, b and c are our input. Then what will be the process? In process we have to first find the value of delta. Then after, our next step is condition, that we have to check the value of delta, that it is greater than or equal to 0 or less than 0, and according to this value we have to calculate the value of our roots. So just see the algorithm, that how we can write it. We already know that in algorithm always our first step is start. So write down start. Then next step is input, and input is enter the value of a, b and c. Here we can write like input a, b and c. Our next step is calculate the value of delta, and here we are using d symbol instead of delta, because in C programming we have to use variables. We can't use that type of sign, that's why. So here simply write that calculate d is equal to b into b minus 4 into a into c. After executing this statement we will get the value of d. And now we have to check the condition, that our d is greater or equal to 0 or less than 0. Now here we have to write condition in fourth step, and condition is like if d greater or equal to 0, and for condition we will get two different outputs, either true part or false part. So first of all we will write our true part. If this condition will true, then we have to find the value of x1 and x2, that are our roots. And the formula for finding root is calculate x1 is equal to minus b plus root delta upon 2a and x2 minus b minus root delta upon 2a. After calculating the value of x1 and x2, we have to print the value of x1 and x2, that are our output. So, display x1 and x2. So, our true part is completed now. This is our true part. Now, false part. If delta less than 0, then we have to just simply print that our roots are imaginary. So, 7th step is a false part, that display roots are imaginary. And last step is a stop. But here something is missing in statement number 4, means we have to set the control that if this condition will true, then we have to go to the next statement, that is statement number 5. So here after comma we have to write like, then go to next statement. But if our condition will false, then our control goes to the directly statement number 7. Otherwise, go to statement number 7. So this is completed now. But here, if this condition will true, then 5th and 6th statement will be executed. And then after our 7th statement, this is false part. But we don't require to print this part when our condition will true. So after executing statement number 6, our control goes to the statement number 8. And here again we have to write, go to statement number 8, that is our stop. In this way we can write the algorithm, and it is a combination of simple and conditional problem. Why? Because these steps represent as a simple problem that we have to just calculate, but these steps represent condition, that's why it is also called as a conditional problem. Now let's see how we can draw the flow chart. And our first step is always start. Then next is a input, and our input is A, B and C. And for input we have to use parallelogram. In parallelogram, just write input A, B and C. Our next step is calculate the value of D, determinant, and this is process, and for process we have to use rectangle, and in rectangle we have to write calculate D is equal to B into B minus 4 into A into C. After calculating the value of D, we have to check the condition, that is statement number 4. And how we can write the condition? For condition we have to use the symbol diamond, and the condition is D greater or equal to 0. And for condition we have two outputs, first is a true part and second is a false part. Here I am writing first true part, and true part is we have to calculate the value of x1 and x2, and again we have to calculate, and for calculation we have to use process symbol, and we have to write in rectangle, same like determinant. And here in rectangle write the formula for x1 and x2. and after calculating x1 and x2 we have to display the value of x1 and x2, and that is nothing but our output, and the symbol for output is parallelogram. And in parallelogram we have to write display x1 and x2. Now we have to set our false part. So here if our condition will false, then we have to just print this statement, and for printing means it is called as our output, and output symbol, in output symbol we have to write display roots are imaginary, and last is a stop. So here I am writing stop, and for stop we have to use oval. So after executing this statement number 6, our control goes to the stop. So here this arrow indicates stop, and same way for here. So in this way we can draw a flow chart and make a algorithm using combination of two types of problems. In next example we will see our third method, and that is repetition problem. Our next problem is display 1 to 10 numbers, and here we have to use our third category, that is repetition problem, or we can say we have to use loop. So for any type of repetition problem we have to remember some steps, means we have to find out these steps from our definition. First of all we have to think that from where we have to start. So here we have to display 1 to 10 numbers, means our output is like 1, 2, 3 up to 10. This is our output. First of all think from where we have to start. So we have to start from 1. So simply we have to take one variable and assign the starting value. Then after we have to think about termination, means where we have to stop 10. So our termination condition is like I less or equal to 10. This is starting, this is our ending. We have to think about process, that which step we have to perform in repetition. So here first of all I is 1, and we have to print the value of 1. So display I, and initially I 1, so our output is 1. Now after 1 we have to print 2. So how we can print it? We have to simply increment the value of our I variable. And how we can increment it? So just we can write the formula like I is equal to I plus 1. Initially our I value is 1. Now after executing this statement 1 plus 1, so our next new I will be 2, and again we have to display the value of I. Now again display I, and now our updated I is 2. Then after again we have to perform I is equal to I plus 1. So previous I is 2. Now 2 plus 1. What is 2 plus 1? It is 3. So again update I. Again we have to display I. It is 3. In this way we have to print until 10. So when I become 10, simply display I, but when I is equal to I plus 1, means 10 plus 1, 10 plus 1, I will be 11, then we have to just go to stop, because we want only 1 to 10. So for repetition we have to remember starting value, ending value, it is also called as a termination condition. Then process means what we have to perform in repetition, and increment part. Just to see how we can write the algorithm. First of all our first step is start. Our next step is from where we have to start. So here our starting is from 1. So just take one variable and assign the value like 1. Here we can't write like input I, because we have a compulsory starting from the 1. That's why I am assigning the value 1 to our variable I in advance. Now next we have to write our process, and our process is display the value of I and I is equal to I plus 1. But in third number step I am not writing this, because I have to repeat the same process again and again. So in third number I am writing the steps like repeat, statement number, but right now we don't know which statements we have to repeat. So just keep it blank, but our condition is until I less or equal to 10, because here our ending at 10. If you have a display 1 to 20, then simply we have to write here I less or equal to 20. Now our process is display I, and then after just increment the value of I by using this expression like I is equal to I plus 1, and our last statement is stop. Now you can see here statement number 3 to 5 we have to repeat until I less or equal to 10. So here we can simply write that repeat statement number 3 to 5 until I less or equal to 10. So this is called as a repetition problem, or we can say loop. So how we can draw the flow chart? Just see here. First symbol is start. Now next is I is equal to 1, and we have already know that the rectangle is used for process, expression and calculation. So this is called as a expression. So we have to write in rectangle like I is equal to 1. Now we have to enter condition, and for condition we have to use diamond symbol, and our condition is like I less or equal to 10. If yes, then we have to display I, and display I is our output, and for output we have to use parallelogram. So in parallelogram display I. After that statement I is equal to I plus 1, and this is expression. So again for expression we have to use rectangle I is equal to I plus 1. Now we have to repeat all these steps. Means first I is equal to 1. So 1 less or equal to 10. Condition true? Yes. Display I means 1 will be print. Then after I is equal to I plus 1. So I will become 2. 1 plus 1, 2. So after updating the value of I, our control goes to the again here on our termination condition. Means from here we have to go back on our condition. Now I will be 2. So 2 less or equal to 10. Condition true? Yes. So again display I. So I will be print as a 2. Again I plus plus. So I will be 3. In this way this process will be repeat until our I become 10. Now after 10 the I will become 11, and for 11 check the condition that 11 less or equal to 10. Condition true or false? False. So just simply our false part is stop. So we have to stop here. In this way we can draw a flow chart. Hope you understand this lecture well. In next video, we will see some more repetition problem in detail. Thank you so much for listening.